Rex Ryan there, Herm Edwards here, a couple of defensive minds in the studio. Rex, I want to start with you. You see that defensive performance from the Eagles on that stage, and you think what?
I just think, oh, my goodness. And really, it was all about that defensive line. And Herm talked about it in those clips. They only sent 4. They never blitz. Team feels it when you hit the quarterback like that. And so, to me, that's it was game, set, match with that pass rush just dominating. And to me, they played the run on the way to the quarterback. They never cared. They knew Kansas City doesn't like to run the ball, all right? And that is shame on them for that. But they never once got out of pass rush mode in the game, and that's obviously a problem and a big reason why we saw this type of tail kicking.
And Rex makes a great point when you think about the Kansas City Chiefs. They only ran the ball 11 times, guys.
That's crazy.
And when this is happening to you early, you got to help the quarterback. You need to go run the ball. Get through a series or two. It doesn't matter. Just slow the game down. Don't allow this front 4 to get after your quarterback like this, because Patrick Mahomes, what's the problem?
Patrick Mahomes led the Chiefs in rush attempts. He had 4. They had 50 yards rushing as a team. Hey, listen, they had to climb out of a hole deep early. Rex, what's stopping Philly from going on a dynastic run in their own right? Second Super Bowl appearance in 3 years. They finally get one now.
Yeah, I tell you, anybody that's going to beat this team's going to have their hands full. But I think what's going to stop them are the Baltimore Ravens and the Detroit Lions.
Okay.
Both those teams are balanced offensively, and that's what it's going to take to beat a team with these kind of pass rushers.
And Rex makes a great point. And also this, too, and Rex knows this. He's been on a lot of really good teams, coached a lot of good teams. How you handle your success on the offseason and when you come back next year. Are you hungry? You know, the culture of the locker room is critical. And this is what makes the Chiefs so good. They got great culture in their locker room. This is why they continue to find themselves in Super Bowls. How will the Eagles handle this success now? How will the locker room handle that?
Sure. Eagles defense got 111 starts from players aged 25 or younger during the 2024 campaign, tied with the 93 Cowboys for the 3rd most by any Super Bowl champion. Okay.
Did you say the Cowboys?
Speak of dynasty. All right.
It's
been
what year was it?
It's been a while. For, it's been a while for them.
93? Okay.
It's been a while for them.
Even those fans are.
Been a while, Cowboys.
All right, from a pair of former Jets coaches to what appears to be a former Jets quarterback. Sunday, Aaron Rodgers appears unlikely.
It's been a long journey. It's been a journey of ups and downs and highs and lows, and I've always stayed true to it in the end, and having this vision of just being the best that I can be. And that evolving over time into this desire and this flame inside to win. And you don't do great things without the guys around you.
Man, oh man, she looked prettier in person. I tell you that. You know, you think about it, it's better in person than it is in Madden. I tell you that. Playing as a kid, but it's everything you dream of. And I'm just happy to be able to, you know, hold it, give it a kiss, and be world champs.
Credit to the Eagles, man. They played better than us from start to finish. We didn't start how we wanted to. Obviously, the turnovers hurt. And, I mean, I take all the blame for that. It's hard to come back from that in the Super Bowl. And so
dreams of the three-peat are no more for Kansas City. Philly, meanwhile, let's take you back. They were 2-2 going into their Week 5 bye week. But they finished the 2024 season winning 16 of their final 17 games. That includes the postseason now. First time in franchise history, the Eagles have won 16 games over a 17-game span. That includes regular season or playoffs.
All right, we move to the desk, and we got to get what we just saw put into context by head coach Herm Edwards. We knew the offense was going to get theirs. They did hit the over, but put into context what we saw from this defense and the Super Bowl performance against Patrick Mahomes.
Well, you saw the #1 defense
Yep.
in the National Football League dominate a team, when we talk about the Kansas City Chiefs, trying to win it 3 times in a row.
Yep.
And it all started up front. And there lies the problem. And we knew it going into this game that could the Eagles defense with 4 guys get to the quarterback. And that was the case.
Didn't send a single blitz.
And it wasn't even close. It wasn't a fair fight, guys. I mean, and Mahomes was bothered early in this game. He was off rhythm. You could tell he felt the rush coming. He was hit numerous times, 16 times. Correct? I mean, and then this Eagle defense, as they've done in the playoffs before the Super Bowl, has done a nice job of taking the ball away.
Sure.
3 big takeaways again. This was just a dominant performance by the Philadelphia Eagles defense.
He was sacked 6 times. That's a career worst for Patrick Mahomes. And even when he wasn't sacked, we saw that interception late in the first half. I mean, he was off platform. He was bumped while he was throwing, like just disrupted throughout most of the.
It almost looked like the Eagles defense was playing with 12 guys.
Sure. Yeah.
It just happened so fast. And you make the point. They only rushed 4 rushers.
That was it.
They never blitzed him.
Not a single blitz. He's the 6th starting quarterback in Super Bowl history to face 0 blitzes in a game, and actually the first since Rex Grossman, who also lost in the Super Bowl. More from Herm Edwards throughout the hour. Sports
On the Super Bowl blowout in the Big Easy, why Philly's big defensive line made it easy for the Eagles to bring home the Lombardi.
Get defensive. You ready?
We are going to do that.
Are you ready?
The Eagles, they pulled up, they showed out, they wanted to stop all talks of this three-peat, which they said did in fact sort of fuel them. All the conversation leading up to this Super Bowl is Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, Travis Kelce going to pull off the historic three-peat. Not if the Eagles defense has anything to say about it. 6 times the #1 rated defense has gone up against the MVP winner that season in 3-play stretch that essentially defined and maybe put the nail in the coffin of this game. 2 minutes to go in the second quarter, same score, more defense. Zach Bond, I mean, you see the pressure that the Eagle front 4 forced on Mahomes, forced him to get bumped. Zach Bond, who spent 4 years playing in the Superdome as a member of the Saints in his first season with the Eagles, gets an interception. Birds were up 24-0 at the break. The Chiefs had 23 total yards of offense in the first half. Another sack by Sweat, who had 2.5 in the game. The Eagles, first team to have 5 sacks, 2 picks in the Super Bowl since the 2002 Bucks in Super Bowl 37. Tampa Bay won that Super Bowl. Mahomes sacked again. Milton Williams this time causes the fumble. Birds plus 12 turnover differential this postseason. That ties the best turnover diff in a single postseason in league history. 40-22. Year final. Here's Zach Bond with our Sal Pal after the win.
We're going to play word play here.
My dog.
Okay, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, what is he?
Dog.
Jalen Carter.
Dog.
Cooper DeJean.
Dog.
Quinyon Mitchell.
Dog.
I mean, this was a dog defense tonight. What was the key? What was the secret to getting after Patrick Mahomes like you did?
The dogs up front. We won with a 4-man rush. I think we blitzed like twice in the whole game.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Maybe one of those games that makes this man feel fortunate to be retired. Damian Woody, dog, with us on SportsCenter. Patrick Mahomes, Mahomes didn't have time to do anything in this game. Where does that D-line performance from Philadelphia rank for you among the best you've ever seen?
Man, listen, I was watching that thing. I was terrified on my own couch watching that pass rush. It was one of the best performances that I've ever seen. And that was actually one of the keys to my game coming in was, you know, the Philadelphia and all types of pressure on Patrick Mahomes. That is the formula and how you go about winning. You're dropping 7 in the coverage. Just a fantastic performance by that Philadelphia Eagles. And shout out to defensive coordinator Vic Fangio putting on a master performance in the Super Bowl.
It was a tremendous DC battle, right? I mean, you had Spagnuolo on one side, you had Fangio on the other. And listen, all the build-up to this thing, or a lot of it, was about the three-peat potential for Kansas City. And the Eagles were not shy after the game talking about how that motivated them. So now the question becomes, you got an Eagles team that's been in the Super Bowl 2 of the last 3 years. They got this win. They're loaded again for next year. Is it the Eagles that we should be talking about now with that dynasty tag?
Well, listen, as a person who was a part of a dynasty, you know, I'm not going to put the cart before the horse. Let's not get too crazy, but we got to give Philadelphia their due.
Yep, Philadelphia deserves it, and they can enjoy this morning after. It sounds like, you know, maybe your Wi-Fi's even taking a couple of hits here the morning after. Everybody's feeling a little everybody's playing hurt this morning, D-Wood. We appreciate it on SportsCenter.
It was that meltdown for Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs as the three-peat hopes are crushed. He's not 30 years old yet. While this loss, though, may be more difficult for the Chiefs to overcome than any other. Gary Streisky back with you on SportsCenter. Not just football that stood out on Super Sunday, where that Tyrese Maxey blocked shot ranks in our top 10. That's this hour on SportsCenter.
They say, Gary, all good things come to an end. Certainly the case for the Chiefs On Sunday, Kansas City becoming the first of 9 back-to-back champions to make it to a third straight Super Bowl, but the dream ended in New Orleans. Last team across major North American sports to three-peat: Kobe, Shaq, Lakers, early 2000s. What about Kansas City getting first half points? It's the same number that they've given up to the Eagles points allowed to start a Super Bowl. Mahomes threw for 3 touchdowns. Mahomes sacked 6 times despite not being blitzed. Finished with a total QBR of 11.4, second lowest in his career. Here is Mahomes after falling short of the three-peat.
I thought our team played really well. I feel like I didn't play to my standard, just with especially the struggles that I had early in the season. And so there's things that I have to get better at, and they kind of showed today on the biggest stage.
You know, he's human. You know, so I think you guys see that he's human. They made, they converted off our mistakes. And so, he's a human being, man, and I guess the world got to see that.
You speak of a dynasty, you got to talk to a guy who is part of one. Brew. Our 3-time champion, Tedy Bruschi, joining the program. Teddy, how tough is this loss going to be for Kansas City to overcome?
Yeah, this is going to be a tough one, fellas. You know, unfortunately, I was on a team that was trying to win a Super Bowl that would top all the others, and that's what Kansas City's goal was here. I mean, this was normal for them to get to this game the last 3 years, and this would have been 3 in a row. And I'd argue that they'll remember this just as much. I mean, this was about, having the one trump card over all the teams, the Cowboys, the Niners, the Steelers, the Patriots, and you fail. So it's something that I still think about all the time, how we failed in 07 when we lost to a great new. It hurt so much more the way they lost because there was never any doubt.
Does Patrick Mahomes, in your estimation, have a chance at matching your teammate in Tom Brady's Super Bowl record? Of course, he retired going out on top with 7 of them.
Man, well, he still has a long way to go. I think Patrick Mahomes is great. He's one of the all-time greats, if you will, in terms of winning Super Bowls. I mean, when you're talking about a guy that won 6 with one team, went to another team and won a 7th, I mean, Patrick is not even 30 years old yet, so I'm not going to start the comparisons because he probably has another decade. And what the Chiefs do from here in terms of fixing left tackle, right tackle, cornerback, the things they have to do to be competitive, and that there's a lot to be done.
Mahomes had a QBR of just 11 in this loss, his worst of any career playoff game. Tedy Bruschi joining us this morning on SportsCenter. Brew, much appreciated.
All right.
Got much more in the Super Bowl coming up on SportsCenter. Rex Ryan knows about great defense. He's going to break down Philly's defensive performance and dominance last night. And listen, it was not a great day for Dallas fans. First, the Cowboys watched their arch rivals roll to a Super Bowl title. Then the Mavs saw their new All-Star go down. How long Anthony Davis will be out of action? That's next on SportsCenter.